resting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome into Allen Hancock College, Game 4 of the Bulldog football season after the national anthem. Welcoming in Irvin Kiger back by my side for this fourth home game of your Bulldogs. Hancock is now 2-1 in the Pacific League after a 42-23 win over West LA last week. We sure missed you, Irvin.
Yeah, I was at a wedding.
We had a
few drinks.
Okay, good. We had a little bit of rain.
Yeah.
It didn't affect the play on the field that much. It was a solid effort by the Bulldogs, and I think you've got some of the statistics, the key statistics that need to hold over and be equal or better from West LA coming into the Citrus game.
Well, to begin with, first downs. Hancock's defense has been playing really well all year, and they only had 9 first downs, West LA. I think that's tremendous for a game. I mean, there was 5 passing and 4 rushing, and Hancock played a solid game. They have been at fourth quarter. They tend to lose a little bit, and they're giving up a few plays on the fourth quarter that they need to clear up.
Bulldogs won the coin toss. They will defer. They will take the ball in the second half. That means kicking off. Cade England with the kickoff. Casimir Dina fields it in the end zone for a touchback. Bulldogs wearing their Dodger blue uniforms with their white numbers and their new awesome.
Let's hope they do better than the Dodgers did last night.
White helmets. And they're moving from right to left. And the Owls of Citrus College in white uniforms with their dark orange numbers. Citrus is 4-0. They have not started Mountain League play yet, but they are 4-0 coming into this game against the Bulldogs.
Coming into the season, there was 2 litmus tests for the Allen Hancock College. The first one was going to be Ventura, who was runner-up to the state championship last year. The second one was going to be Citrus. How Hancock performs today against Citrus is going to go a long ways, I think, in indicating how they're going to do for the rest of the year.
Austin Zavala running the plays for the Owls. It's a 1st and 10 from their own 25 after the touchback. But it's a delay of game against the Owls to start off this football game. You could see Zavala pushing, waving to one of his running backs to move to the across the field, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Owls. That'll now be 1st and 15 from their own 20-yard line. A couple statistics I do want to share with you along the way, where the Bulldogs sit not only in Southern California football, but in Pacific League. In it, moving across the field is Gray, and it's an option play. He hands it to Walter Carl. And Carl doesn't get much of anything.
No, that was defensively. Hancock just really plugged that hole up right there in the middle. 2 linebackers came up and made the tackle. Nice article this week in the Santa Maria Times about Honus Wagner.
So funny, the young people don't know what that name means. Isn't that
and
crazy?
He was named, because of course, his last name is Wagner, from Georgia.
No gain on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 15 for the visiting Owls. Austin Zavala is the play caller from Chino Hills, the sophomore. Just under 400 yards passing so far in 4 games. He's rolling to the near side. Looking downfield for Dina. And it's incomplete. He catches it, but he's out of bounds.
Nice pass. He threw it where only the receiver could catch the ball, but unfortunately he had a foot on the line when he went out of bounds, when he caught the ball.
The intended receiver is Casimir Dina from Etowanda High School in Rancho Cucamonga. He has 5 catches this season, 46 yards. He does have a running touchdown. The Owls, undefeated so far this season. On the near side setting up is Lineberg, one of the receivers, as well as Zavala rolling to the near side. This one There's a number 16 on the field, but no number on my roster. Let's see. Christopher Rodriguez, a wide receiver. Incomplete. It's now 4th and 15. Ray Young back to field the punt. Sean Bailey Jr. 14 punts so far this season, 505 yards. It's a high punt, and it's fielded at the 47, but he drops it. And Young falls on the ball just across the midfield line. It went right through his arms.
31-yard punt, and Hancock was fortunate the receiver just fell right on the ball. The ball didn't bounce too far away from him.
So now we will get a look at the Bulldogs offense for the first time today. No score. Just under 14 minutes to play here in the first half. Bulldogs looking for their 3rd win of the season. Coach Chris Dutra coaching for his 19th straight year here as the head coach for the Bulldogs. Matt Garcia getting the start here today under center. 1st and 10 from the Owl 49. In motion is Lakes. It's given to Newkirk. And he's tackled at the line of scrimmage.
I think he might have picked up maybe a yard. Went off that right side. There wasn't a whole lot of room for him.
Newkirk tied for 2nd in touchdowns in the Pacific League this season. Garcia finds Young, and it's complete. Not enough for a first down. He's pushed out of bounds at the 42.
Pick up 7 yards.
Desmond Newkirk, 2nd in touchdowns in the Pacific League with 3 touchdowns. Maurice Smith is tied for 1st with 4 other players, 4 touchdowns, and Terrence Rayner also with 4 touchdowns.
This is the first time that I've seen Garcia throw a ball, and
you weren't here.
He throws a nice, crisp pass.
He does. He had a good week last week. We'll get to his statistics in a minute.
He got the ball out of his hand quickly.
It's a 3rd and 3 from the 42. This time, Newkirk with the ball again. He gets a hole, finds it up the middle, and it's a Bulldog first down.
Pickup of about 6 yards off that right side.
Desmond Newkirk coming in, the freshman out of Wallace Rose Hill High School in Teachey, North Carolina. 27 carries, 124 yards, 3 touchdowns, a couple catches as well. And now DJ Whitmill Jr. in the backfield. It's a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 36. No score early. In motion is Lakes. And he gives it to Whitmill. Whitmill runs into traffic, and he's tackled with his legs by Eden Smith. Grabs him around the ankles.
Yeah, all the motion came to the left side. They ran to the right side, and Whitmill had maybe a half a yard gain on that particular play.
Here comes Newkirk. Whitmill coming into the game, 26 carries, 266 yards, no touchdowns. Split wide receivers, Lakes on the far side. Young on the near side. This time Garcia wants to pass. He's in trouble. He gets out of one tackle, spins around. Looks like he tries to throw the ball to Newkirk, and they're going to call it a pass, an incomplete pass. He was lucky on that one.
Yeah.
He was going down.
He really was. They didn't call him in the grasp, and it was fortunate for Hancock he wasn't sacked.
He broke about 3 different tackles on that. Matt Garcia, 6'4", 235, one of the taller quarterbacks we've seen at Hancock.
Reminds you a little bit, size-wise, of like a Roethlisberger.
Hopefully better character.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore, Pioneer Valley High School, Garcia. 3rd and 9. It's a play action to the right. Once he finds Kajon Lakes on the far side, he pushes for a couple extra. He's tackled inside the 30, but it's just short of the first down.
I think it might be time to go for it. Hancock, I mean, they're well inside Citrus territory. It's got, about 3 yards?
Looks like that's what they're doing, Irvin. Both teams still have 3 timeouts, 11-12 on the clock here in the first. No score. Welcome in. In case you're just joining us, it's the Citrus Owls undefeated so far this season, 4-0. Here visiting the Bulldogs, 2-1. They're going for it on 4th and a long 3. This one, given to Newkirk. He runs to the right side of the tackles, and it looks like
it's close.
He might have gotten the first down, but the defense is running on the field, so it's just a little short. I like that. I like that gutsy play by Dutra and the squad starting off here in the first. There was nothing to lose on that where the field position is.
On the previous play, I think that the receiver had to do it all over again, would have been a little deeper. He had to run towards the sticks a little more instead of being so shallow. Because as Brian, our technical director, said, there was 4 yards they had to make up on that 4th down play.
He's not just the technical director. He's pretty much the babysitter. He's the boss. He's the CEO. He's the CFO. He's the COO. 1st and 10 for the visiting Owls. Quick pass on the far side. Complete to Flores. And he gets pushed out of bounds at the 40 for a Citrus first down. I like that Dutra was aggressive with that and went for it early in the game. I like it. And it shows the Owls they're not afraid to. Yep. They trust their offense.
And it shows they trust their defense,
and their defense, exactly. A little bit of both. Trust all over. Hugs. 1st and 10 from the 40.
One big happy hug.
Group hug. A group football hug. Zavala's looking to pass. He's got a receiver up the middle, but looks like it might have been intercepted by Kyron Smith. But it's incomplete. He almost had it. His receiver, Rodriguez, was behind Smith.
Yeah, but Rodriguez turned into the defender because he had to go up and knock the ball out of.
He had to turn into a defender quickly.
Yes, he did.
He was the wide receiver that became the quarterback.
Now, if there's one problem that Hancock has so far this year is they're not getting enough pressure on the quarterback.
2nd and 10. Zavala on the option. Carl with the football, and it looks like he got a first down for Citrus.
Yeah, I mean,
what a good that was a great fake play.
He faked the pass, and it was a draw play going right up the middle, had Hancock just really where they wanted him.
First and 10 for Citrus, no score. 9:42 remaining in the first. Zavala from the shotgun. This one, play action rolling to the near side.
I think he juggled that ball. Are they going to give it to him?
Flores looked like he caught it. And they're saying it's complete. He caught it right in bounds and then jumped out of bounds. It's another Owls first down. Jeremiah Flores from Norco High School, Norco, California. 15 catches this year, Irvin. 230 yards and 2 touchdowns for the freshman. 1st and 10 from the 38. Zavala's got Carl in the backfield. This one is given to Carl, and right away he is slammed to the turf.
Brought down by E.J. Barrera, got in that backfield and got him for a tackle for loss, a TFL. Nice play by Barrera. Barrera, 6'1", 190-pound freshman from Grand Junction Central in, is that Oklahoma? No, Colorado, sorry.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Zavala wants to pass again. He throws it over the head of Jeremiah Lineberger. Seth Mataisi there for the defense.
Seth Mataisi's had a very good year so far.
Yes, Seth Mataisi actually is number 4 overall in the SCFA with 8 tackles per game.
And that's Southern California Football Association. Sure is. It's not just the league play, yes.
Yeah. Also, DJ Whitmill Jr. is 5th overall in the entire association with yards per game at 88.7. And Maurice Smith is tied for 2nd with touchdowns. Hancock's in the top 10 in a lot of categories in the SCFA. Zavala's in trouble. Tries to get a pass.
Now that is intercepted.
And he does get intercepted at the 11-yard line. What a catch by Kyron Smith. I thought Zavala was going to step out of bounds, but he got that pass off, threw it straight down the near sideline, and it was in front of his wide receiver. So Kyron Smith, the freshman out of Macon County High School, stepped in front of it for the interception.
That's 2 plays on this particular drive that Zavala threw the ball short. Hancock did not intercept the first one, did the second one, and I imagine that he wishes he would have stepped out of bounds on that particular play.
8:06 remaining in the first. No score. Bulldogs now on a 1st and 10 after the interception from their own 11. Garcia under center. Gives it to Eddie Battle, his first carry of the game, and he crosses the 10-yard line for a gain of maybe 2. Eddie Battle, 33 carries coming in, 2 touchdowns, and 177 yards. Eddie Battle is 4th in the Pacific League in rushing.
You know, CJ, you and I have been doing this, what, our 8th year?
7th.
7th
No,
year?
8th, you're right, thank you.
But Chris Dutra, every year, and his staff come up with running backs.
It's somehow.
Yeah.
Every year.
And this year they got even more.
And it takes the first few games to really decide who it's going to be
That's
with the
true.
majority of the carries. This one, given to Maurice Smith. He finds a hole. He gets a first down, and he crosses the 35, and he dives towards the 40. What a run by running back Maurice Smith.
Oh, tremendous. He went off that right side. And this is something that you can depend upon Hancock. If they can stay close in games, because I don't particularly think that they play from behind extremely well because of until they develop their passing game. But as the game goes along, these running backs start getting more and more yards because the defense starts getting tired.
Smith coming into the game, 28 carries, 97 yards, 4 touchdowns. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 36. This one's Eddie Battle. He gets hit, but he's still moving. He rolls across the 45.
Another first down.
And it's a Bulldog first down. What a play. What a move by Eddie Battle.
Oh.
He had one of the defenders had him by the ankles, but he spun around and dove forward to get the first down.
None of the running backs are particularly tall, but they've all got thighs on them that really allow them to just keep their legs moving when they got the ball.
And he is the tallest at 6'1". But they're all 5'9", 5'10". 1st and 10. This one is Smith. He's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage. He stood up. He's pushed back by a number of Owls. No gain on the play. So the first possession, it was Newkirk and Whitmill.
Yes.
And now we're seeing Smith and Battle. So he's still trying to decide what he's going to do before conference play begins, league play. And this is probably their last season, the Bulldogs in the Pacific League. They always shift it. I think it's every 3 years, and they've been in the Pacific for 3 years. This time, a pass intended for Kajon Lakes incomplete. Did you see one of the defensive backs for Citrus? Cameron Hudson has yellow gloves. They look just like the color of the flags. That seems like you shouldn't have those on. It doesn't seem right. Do you notice that?
Yeah, you remember, Brian, it used to be the socks at the opposing.
We talked about that, by the way, last week, that when the numbers are similar, which they're not as much this year with the running backs, that I could tell the difference in running backs and wide receivers on Hancock's team by the socks. You could tease me forever, but it works. I'm not the only one who does it. Garcia rolling to his right. Tried to find Jerome Affe, the tight end, but it was incomplete. It touched his hands, but it went over his head.
The last two, there's a flag on the field.
Or is that guy's gloves? Just kidding. It is a flag.
Well, yeah, it made me look twice.
Offense, number 48. That penalty declined. 4th down.
What was that penalty, Irvin? Holding. Thank you. Holding on the Bulldogs. That brings up a 4th down. That means the punting crew's coming in. Christian Mondal.
Cade England, the punter for Hancock's been averaging over 40 yards per kick so far this year.
Michon Smith and Darian Wagner back. Smith fields it at the 14. Finds a hole. He crosses the 30. Still moving. 35, 40, 45. England's the only one with a chance. And Cade England with a tackle at the 45-yard line in Bulldog territory. Without Cade England, Warner would have had a touchdown.
Yes, no, there's no doubt about that.
You always want your kicker to know how to tackle. Wow. That was a 47-yard punt return for Darian Warner. Actually, I think it's, Darian Warner. 1st and 10 for the Owls. From their from Bulldogs 45. Zavala looking downfield, and it's complete, and it's a touchdown for Jeremiah Lineberger. A 45-yard touchdown catch for the freshman out of Ayala High School in Chino Hills.
Kirk McDonald was the intended defender. The ball got over his head. The safety was too late getting over there. Nice pass by Zavala. Put Citrus up 6-0.
Citrus gets on the board first. There is some wind. Point after attempt is up, and it's good. The Owls take the lead. They get the first score on the board. With 5:22 remaining in the first quarter, it's Citrus 7, the Bulldogs nothing. You're listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College in Santa Maria, California. Irvin Kiger and CJ Silas. The Citrus Owls bringing a 4-0 record to Allen Hancock. Get on the board first with a 45-yard touchdown catch by Jeremiah Lineberger.
But that drive, the one play, 45 yards, was set up by the 37-yard punt return. That Cade England did not get the ball in the air, could not allow his defenders to get down there and cover the kick.
But he made the tackle.
Yeah.
So he made up for it a little bit. Newkirk.
Nice block.
That was a Qualik Davis with the block.
That's one of the best downfield blocks I've seen all year.
I haven't seen that kind of block in a long time. And it was legal.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because we've seen some blocks, but that one was legal. Desmond Newkirk, the kick returner. Bulldogs coming in now, trailing 7-0. Matt Garcia. He's got DJ Whitmill in the backfield, trailing 7-0. What a hit. Qualik Davis. Whitmill up the middle, and he runs right into Robert Myrick's. I would not want to run head-on into that guy.
What you see here is, I mean, there's 8 people in the box. There's 8 people within a yard or two of the line of scrimmage. They're forcing Hancock. They're saying, if you're going to beat us, you're going to put the ball in the air. We're going to stop the running game for the most part. Although, yeah, they picked up 4 yards on that particular play.
That was a very generous spot. 2nd and 6. This one is Smith on the pitch. He gets a first down. Bulldog first down. There is a flag on the play. And there was some jawing going on. Yep.
Holding.
Lucas Santana. There was also some jawing going on with Anthony Chisholm and Bulldogs Logan Faitau.
Dahl came out and threw a block that really sprung the running back. Nice play, but unfortunately one of the down linemen were holding on that particular play. And Hancock will now have 2nd and about 18, 17, 18.
Second, 16 from the 44. Garcia, complete pass
No,
to,
he
oh,
did not.
nope, he dropped it. It was intended for Kajon Lakes. Coming into the game, he's got 3 touchdowns, 9 catches for 241 yards. Bounced right out of his hands,
Yeah.
hit him in the numbers.
Just shows you how those penalties, instead of a first down inside Citrus territory,
Yep, it's now
you go
third
back
and
to
very long.
your own 36-yard line. Now it's going to be third and long, as you say.
Garcia is going to pass, and he completes it to Kajon Lakes right at midfield.
It's
And
close.
and the sticks are moving, so it looks like it's a Bulldog first down.
I actually thought he went down a little before he got to the sticks themselves, but I thought it might have been a 4th and short. But still, the receiver ran to the sticks. Perfect. Nice pass by the quarterback. Hancock's first
Kajon
down.
Lace, sophomore from Agassiz Prep in Las Vegas, spent some time with the Bulldogs. Had a little bit of a few catches, a little bit of time on the field last year, but he's definitely the leading receiver for Chris Dutra's offense.
You better hurry up. Too much time.
1st and 10, and there is a delay of game against the Bulldogs. You could see the confusion on the field.
Yeah, but
Just call timeout. You were speechless. You didn't even know what to say. I saw that. I
Yeah.
looked over at you, and you were.
well, I mean, you look at the clock. I can hear Brian saying there's you better hurry up. And
Reset the play clock to 25.
I'm confused. It doesn't look like they got the 5-yard penalty.
no, you're right.
Okay. Well,
Unless they
first-
hadn't reset it the time before.
Aha, got it. 1st and 10. Whitmill finds a hole up the middle, gets a first down. He's still on his feet. He is pushing through inside the 30. DJ Whitmill Jr., what a run.
Oh, tremendous.
He broke 4 or 5 tackles. He had guys he was dragging by their,
Yes.
they had their arms around his ankles.
And that's
His
why
sh-
he's 5th in the state.
Wow. That was
Averaging almost 89 yards a game on the ground.
what were his numbers from last week? You have the stats in front of you, Irvin. I'm just curious.
In rushing,
Yes.
Whitmill had 82 yards, 7.5 yards per carry.
That's,
Can't ask
that
for
is
any
a-
better than
that
that.
is a nice stat. 2:58 remaining in the first. 1st and 10 from the 27. This is Smith, the ball carrier. I don't think there's a gain on the play. Maybe. Actually, yeah.
A
Big
yard?
yard. A big yard. Yard and a half. 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs. Ball's on the 26-yard line in Citrus territory. Hancock trailing 7-0. Brandon Robertson is present. Whitmill. Whitmill runs into a big
A plethora.
group of owls.
Plethora.
What
of
is a
owls.
group of owls? Is it a flock?
I don't know.
Oh, that's what he ran into. Is it a herd? No.
No.
A big group of owls is not a is it a? It's not a herd. Is it a flock of owls? It's a good question, isn't it?
We're a bunch
My
of,
gosh.
We're a bunch of jocks
Listen,
up here.
listen.
That's good.
My Syracuse and USC education is really coming to play right now. Really coming into play. Sheesh. A parliament.
A parliament.
Okay, so I wasn't the only one that didn't know. The entire press box. Not one person in this room knew. And I don't mean to call this a room, but right now it is. Offsides. False start against the Bulldogs.
Now, that's something I will never forget. I mean,
Was that a
considering
false start?
my wife was English, my kids are both half English. A parliament.
Was that a false start or is it offsides?
False start.
Thank you. It's a false offsides. A false offside start.
Brings up 3rd and about 13. 3rd and 12.
1:31, and the clock is ticking in the first. Bulldogs down 7-0. They're threatening. Garcia wants to pass, but he's in trouble, and he's sacked. Garcia is sacked at the 34-yard line, and here comes the punting team.
First sack of the day for either side. Citrus takes a timeout.
An official timeout. An official timeout on the field.
There is a Bulldog that is down.
Injury on the field. And we'll take a quick timeout as well with the Bulldogs trailing 7-0, 1:15 remaining in the first. You're listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Jacob Hernandez, the offensive lineman for the Bulldogs from St. Joe's, is up and having some assistance. He's hopping. Looks like he's got a left leg or foot injury. You noticed something during that injury timeout.
Yeah. Every owl on the opposite sideline was on one knee.
Took a knee. And I play roller derby, and no matter who is down, whether it's a ref, a woman from the other team, or your team, every skater goes down onto their knee. It's a respect thing. We looked across the field, and my whole body got the chills. What does that mean when you see a team do that in unison?
As you said, respect. And as I said, the coach has control of this ball club.
Kate England with the punt. They're going to let it bounce through the end zone for a touchback. I have to say, I've been doing this. This is our 8th year. I've never seen that. Never seen that, whether it's the Bulldogs or any other team. That means a lot. And a 4-0 team that's feeling that strong and has that camaraderie, that's something really special.
Well, it's
Ron Ponciano, his 9th year as the head coach with the Owls. He was the defensive coordinator before that for 4 years. Head coach at LA Valley. Head coach at Northridge when they had a football team. They don't have a football team anymore, do they?
No, but I remember I was going to school when they did.
Assistant coach at San Jose State and a grad assistant at USC. This one's handoff to Justin Alexander. Ponciano has been around. He's been at the city college level. He's also been at the Division I level at San Jose State, and Northridge was Division I when they had football.
No, they weren't.
They weren't. They never were.
No, they were with Cal Poly. That's
okay.
when Cal Poly
Great
was
West.
D2.
The
yeah.
Great West.
Well, it wasn't
maybe
even the
before
Great
that.
West, and it was before.
So it was before I was even here.
Like CCAA.
Got
or
it.
something like that.
Yeah. Wow. On the 2nd and 10, a run play. Justin Alexander, the sophomore out of Rancho Cucamonga High School. That's something, we may never see that again, but we'll always remember that moment. And that is the end of the first quarter with the Owls of Citrus, the 4-0 Owls up 7-0. You're listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Bulldogs trailing the Owls of Citrus 7-0 after one quarter play. I did want to mention it's the 5th annual Frightmare Forest. It is back, and it's put on by the whole men's basketball program, and it happens at Allen Hancock College. So you definitely have to check it out. It's coming, and it'll be at I think 3 weekends, the last 3 weekends of this month.
So is it just the men's, or is it men's and women's?
I think that it's the men's and then lots of volunteers. So there's a really scary one, and then there's a more mild one. Monsters, critters, creatures, nightmares. It's coming back to Allen Hancock College. Just go to athletics.hancockcollege.edu and find out more information, or listen to the CJ Silas Show, because I'm sure Coach Tyson I will be in studio. He always comes in to talk about the basketball season coming up at Frightmare Forest. It's a 4th down for the Owls. And the punt what a nice punt. And it's Ray Young, feels it, at the 40. Cronus to midfield.
Ooh.
Makes a nice cut. He's still going, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
They called a penalty on that one block at about the 30-yard line.
Wow, what a run by Ray Young. What a run by Ray Young, the freshman. It'll be called back a little. The officials
they're conferring right now,
talking about where they're going to place the ball. They're going to spot it. It's a personal foul against the Bulldogs. It'll be 1st down. Let's see where the spot was.
It wasn't an illegal block. I think he was defenseless, and that's why they called it.
So the illegal was right there at the 32, so it's going to be brought back all the way, and the ball will be at the 47-yard line. So what would have been, well, now it's a 13-yard punt return, because I think he fielded it around the 40, and it would have been, my gosh, a 47-yard punt return. And instead, it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 47. You called that block. You had a reaction to that when it happened.
Again, I don't think it was illegal. I think he was just defenseless, didn't see it coming. It was kind of like a blindside block. When I say
Desmond
illegal,
Newkirk.
he didn't block him in the back or anything like that.
Desmond Newkirk gets 7-yard gain on that run.
Now, this is the 3rd time that Hancock has been in Citrus territory. They're going to have to think about putting some points on the board.
2nd and 4 for the Bulldogs. There's a helmet. One of the linemen's helmet fell off, so that means he's going to have to take a moment. Kobe Tuitela has to take a play off. And replacing him will be Fabian Murillo. Eddie Battle was the ball carrier.
Brings up 3rd down and about 1.
He gained 3 on the play. Ray Young, the one wide receiver on the far side. Newkirk on the pitch. Crosses the 40. And right away is tackled by Darian Warner and Jason
First
Villa.
down, Hancock.
And it is a Bulldog 1st down.
I like it when Hancock goes wide like that.
Well, they haven't had a lot of success up the middle, except maybe one DJ Whitmill run today.
No, they had a couple. But still, they run between the tackles so much that when they go wide, it's to keep everybody honest. Because, I mean, you look at the amount of defenders. Even the defensive backs are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10. Battle with the ball. Not much of a gain on that one.
No.
No gain at all, really. 12:40 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Bulldogs trail 7-0. Looking for their 3rd win of the year. Newkirk, the one lone back. Garcia under center. Gives it to Newkirk. He runs to the right side of the tackles.
Now, did you see he fell on another player?
Yeah, that's why he got up and kept trying to run.
Yeah.
He didn't. His
But
knees
the
didn't
white
hit.
hat had already blown the whistle.
Yeah, and that wasn't a good call because he really still was in play. It was still live because his knees didn't touch. That was smart of him to keep trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a heads-up play. Gain of 3. 3rd and 7. Battle. No, it's to pass to Young. Complete on the near side. He crosses the 30.
Should be real close.
Not enough for a first down. They're going for it again, Irvin.
Yes, they are.
In almost the same exact spot where they went for it in the first quarter.
I mean, they were 25% coming into this game on 4th down.
Newkirk. And it looks like he got enough for a first down.
Yeah, absolutely.
He dove across that 25-yard line, and it's a first down for the Bulldogs.
What I liked is they went a little wider than they have been, and just off the backside, right side of the right tackle, pick up that first down.
First down. Newkirk. No, it's Battle. It's Battle. He finds a hole. He goes straight, and then he sees a hole, and he cuts to his left. But he had Jake Urena.
One player.
Yep,
That's all he had to
Jake,
beat.
Yep, Jake Urena had him by the ankles.
Yeah, he ran against the grain and was headed out towards that left flat. Couldn't make it.
6-yard gain on the play.
But still, 6.
Not bad.
No, on first down, of course not.
The ball carrier stacked up after a short game.
Pickup of about 1.
9:48 remaining in the first half. 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs, trailing by 7. Hancock 2-1 this season. The Owls 4-0. One more non-league play for Hancock before they start those last 5 straight games of Pacific League action. Battle. Battle's fighting. Took two to take him down. It took Ambarguru and Darian Warner. One of the linemen for the Bulldogs, gingerly.
Where are they spotting the ball? Is it close to about the 16-yard line? It's about 4th and 1. All right, now they're making one of the Hancock players come off the field. I think it's because maybe they want him to have the concussion protocol, go through that test.
He did look like, let's see, who was that? That is Logan Faitau. And it is 4th and 1. And they're going for it again. No, he hasn't. Isaiah Rowland in the game, tight end for the first time. Haven't seen him this season. Newkirk running to the right. Stiff arms 1. He's pushed out of bounds. And I can't see if it's enough for a first down, but it's close, Irvin. And there's a penalty on the play.
10-yard penalty, fourth down.
Is it a penalty?
Yes. Holding. And it looks like they're bringing in the field goal team.
I think he would have had a first down, too.
Oh, I think he did. It was really close. Edgar Zacharias coming in to attempt the field goal.
1 for 5 on the year, Zacharias.
Kick is up. And no good. The 43-yard field goal attempt is no good. Bulldogs march down the field. Do not get any points on the board. Still trailing Citrus 7-0 with 8:16 remaining in the first half. You're listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. After the missed field goal, the Owls will take over on a 1st and 10 from their own 26.
That last drive for the Bulldogs took 6 minutes and 5 seconds, and they come away with nothing. And unfortunately, 4th and 1, and you call for holding.
1 yard gain on the play. Zavala in the shotgun with Sal Tovar in the backfield. Sophomore from South El Monte High School. Zavala wants to pass. He finds Flores up the middle right near the 40-yard line, tackled by Latravius Kingsland, and it's a 1st down for Citrus.
For the most part, Zavala does not take much time in the backfield. He gets the ball.
Quick release.
He looks at his intended receiver and lets it fly.
392 yards coming into the game. 5 touchdowns, only 1 interception. 1st and 10. This one, a quick pass to the far side to Lineberger. And what a hit by Qualik Davis. Wow.
Might have lost a bit more.
He did lose some yardage on that big hit by the sophomore out of Bishop McDevitt High School, Harrisburg, PA. Plays both sides and special teams. Dutra seems to always have one of those.
Yeah. Nice home field tackle.
Wow. Loss of 2. 2nd and 12. Rolling to the right. Zavala shooting it to Flores, incomplete.
Oh, he threw that ball away on purpose, and I think that was a good choice.
This might sound naive, and I'm just going to do it. When the quarterback is lined up in the shotgun, but he's got a running back right next to him and one behind him, what is that called? You don't see that very often.
Well, if there's one behind him, isn't that the pistol?
But there's a guy next to him, too. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
I haven't seen that often, and maybe Steven knows what it is. If we see it again, we'll point it out and see what Steven, or maybe Air Baron will know what it's called. Somebody. We need a brilliant, wise football guy to tell me what that's called. A tough snap, but Zavala holds on to it. And then
that's a fumble. That is a fumble.
Sacked, and there's a fumble on the play.
Bulldog ball.
Wow. Jackson Valencia heads up play after the sack. The ball pops out of Zavala's hands, and the Bulldogs will take over in great field position.
The first time that the Bulldogs have gotten to Zavala today, and they just nailed him. Came in from the blind side.
He had no idea.
No, none whatsoever.
He had no idea, and the Justin McKinney, the freshman from Honolulu, he's the one that created that. And here it is, a 1st and 10 from the 27. Garcia under center with Whitmill Jr. in the backfield. Ray Young in motion, and he gives it to Young. And Young's tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
And again, another nice downfield tackle by the Citrus.
No gain on the play. Smith Dives right through. Might have gotten a yard or two on that one. 5:27 and ticking the clock here in the second quarter. Bulldogs trailing the Owls 7-0. Both teams still have their 3 timeouts remaining here in the first half.
Third and 8 for the Bulldogs.
Whitmill, he finds a hole, and he's still on his feet. He dives across the 20.
That should be enough.
And it looks like it'll be enough for a Bulldog first down. And there's a flag right in the middle.
It's going to be holding.
It's not the defensive back with the yellow gloves. Yep, you're right. Irvin, you've been doing this a long time, haven't you?
Well, when it's right in the middle like that, it's got to be one of the interior linemen. Again, another penalty slows the Bulldogs down. I mean, you get the ball at the 27-yard line of your opponent.
And now you're moved all the way back to the 35, and it's a third down.
And it's a third down. And I thought it was a great call because everybody was expecting the ball to go in the air, and it didn't.
It was
Garcia
a nice run.
handed it off. And
Yep, nice run called back. Third and long. Garcia's pretty much forced to throw here. All the way downfield into double coverage. It's not intercepted, but it was intended for Jerome Affe, the sophomore out of Bartlett High School in Anchorage, Alaska. And here comes the special teams crew. Looks like it's going to be a punt. A little too far out for a field goal.
yeah, I think, because it'd be about a 45-yarder, and it's the prevailing wind is coming from
Yes.
the west. It's going blowing southeast. England's got to start getting the ball higher in the air, though. Allow his defenders to get down there and cover the punt.
He's back at the 50-yard line.
That's
Nice
better.
punt.
That's
Nice
better.
punt. Fielded at the 5. That was Darian Warner.
See, when I was a kid, if the ball was inside the 10, you let it go with hopes that it would go into the end zone.
Yeah,
you get the ball out at the 20.
You get a big bounce, yeah.
But don't forget, I was a kid many
And it
years
was
ago,
a different
folks.
game then.
Yeah. We
First
didn't have
and 10.
face masks, unlike my dad's.
First and 10 from the 8 for the Owls. Okay, here it is again. He's got a running back lineup next to him and then one behind him. Carl, the ball carrier.
First down.
Whatever that formation is, it is working for the Owls.
Well, there's only 2 minutes to halftime. You'll have your time to
Find
inquire
out.
then. Yes.
Yeah, because it's bugging me. I should know that. But I just learned it was an on-air broadcaster blog site that said it's better that you say you don't know something than pretend you know something wrong with a wrong answer. And so I'd much rather know what this is. And every time he's moving from one side to the other. The guy that lines up next to him. This one, Dina's the ball carrier. Dina, he's a wide receiver on the roster, but he's also carried the ball for over 100 yards. And he's one of the smaller guys. He's a 5'7", can sneak around for the Owls.
Now, do you watch much football?
I watch a lot of football.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But I haven't seen
Because I do the same.
Yeah, I just haven't seen that. They're not doing that very often in the pros, and
No.
if they have, I missed it. I watch more professional than I do college because I'm always at a game.
Right.
Once
Right.
in a while, I'll see a night game if there is one. Second and 8. This time,
Nice.
there's a fumble. It's a fumble
Right.
by Dina, and
Bulldogs.
it's recovered. It's recovered by the Bulldogs. Quentin Faison with the fumble recovery.
And how much time? There's 3:04.
Yes.
Second turnover that Hancock has gotten. They came in today at -1 on the turnovers.
And great field position with 3 minutes left. They've got time. I love that you use our football chart.
From Southern Mississippi?
Well, it's because my friend gave it to me, but Stephen had it last week, but we didn't have anywhere to put it down because we didn't have a table, so he couldn't write. That's one of my favorite things that you do. Faison with the fumble recovery. 1st and 10.
Nice run. That speaks a lot for me if this is one of her favorite things that I do.
During the broadcast. You make great pizza. Are you going to bring pizza to one of the home games?
If somebody will come down to the car, the one that
course.
you told me that was towed away.
Well, right when you got here, you started pumping up the Washington Nationals, knowing I'm a Dodger fan.
My son lived in D.C.
It doesn't matter. You can find any excuse in the book. It was an 8-yard gain. Eddie Battle, the ball carrier. And right away you walk up the stairs, the first thing how about them Nationals? Just because you're a fan of the hated orange and black. So, a little bit later, before the game started, I came up the stairs and I said, hey, somebody's GMC SUV is being towed. And you fell for it for like 3 seconds.
Oh, no, I did.
And it's funny.
Hook, line,
You're
and
still
sinker.
laughing. It's 3rd and 2. I laughed.
I'm going to tell you after this play something interesting that was said to me last night.
Newkirk.
It's going to be short.
On the 3rd and 2, it doesn't look like it's enough. Do you think they'll go for it again or they'll try to kick a field goal?
Last night, a friend of mine who is a devout Dodger fan said, if Roberts doesn't make the World Series and win this year, do you think that the Dodgers will entertain hiring Bruce Bochy as their manager?
Well, Bruce Bochy retired. I don't think he's coming back to baseball.
I don't think he's retired 100%.
I don't know why. I think he is. I don't think you get a team to the World Series 3 straight years and you don't keep your job. Eddie Battle fighting his way for a first down on the 4th and short. That was another gutsy play by Chris Dutra.
No. Chris Dutra calls a good game. There's no doubt about that.
He's got one of the new coaches helping him with offense, Ed Herman, the guy that was coaching for Rigetti.
Yeah, the Rigetti coach a couple years ago.
Newkirk
Touchdown.
Straight in, untouched to the end zone. Desmond Newkirk, a 5-yard touchdown run, his 4th touchdown of the season. He high-stepped his way in for a 5-yard touchdown run. Bulldogs put their first points on the board. Now trail it 7-6. Edgar Zacharias coming in for the extra point attempt. He's 15 of 17 this season. Less than a minute remaining in the first half. Kicks up, left-footed kicker Zacharias, and it's good. It's a tie ball game with 56.9 seconds remaining in the first half. Bulldogs and Owls are tied at 7. You are listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College in Santa Maria, California. With under a minute remaining in the first half, the Bulldogs on a Desmond Newkirk 5-yard touchdown run and an Edgar Zacharias extra point. It's now 7-7.
Yeah, that was big for Hancock. After this kickoff, we'll talk about this a little more.
Kate England with the kick.
A fair catch.
And it was a fair catch. Called for by the Owls. And they will see what they do with just under a minute to play here in the first half. Aboud Elias.
You know, Hancock 5 times has been in citrus territory, a couple of them real deep after a couple of turnovers, and they had not put any points on the board. What they need to do now for the next 57 seconds is hold citrus, because they're going to get the ball back first in the second half. The Bulldogs are. Big score for the Bulldogs to make it 7-7 as opposed to being down 0-7.
Quick pass play to Flores. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss. Honus Wagner, one of the defensive players who's now limping after that.
That particular play right there, it was a defensive backfield that made Zavala pump the ball and then throw it the second time because of the fact that there was too many Bulldogs around the intended receiver.
Loss of 3 on the play. 20 seconds and counting on the game clock, under 10 on the play clock. It's a 7-7 ball game. Zavala, one more pass play. This time, right through the hands of Justin Alexander near midfield. And that stops the clock while they...
That young man, I think he might have heard some footsteps coming up behind him. He got those alligator arms. They pulled him in. I never played wide receiver, so, you know, they get popped pretty good sometimes going across the middle.
Incomplete. Now a 3rd and 13. 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Play clock's down to 9. 7-7. Zavala. Another pass. We thought he was going to pass it, then he brought his hands back in, and he's sacked. And that'll run out the clock. With the first half of play in the books, the score is tied 7-7. You are listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College, where the Bulldogs and the Owls are tied 7-7 after a touchdown right as the second quarter was ending. It was a 5-yard touchdown run by Desmond Newkirk, the freshman out of Wallace Rose Hill High School in Teachey, North Carolina. Irvin, besides that touchdown, will you please share with us the first half statistics?
All right, thank you, CJ. First of all, we're going to go in the rushing department. Hancock has 119 yards on the ground. The Owls have 23 yards on the ground. Passing, the Owls have 75 yards through the air. Hancock has 35 yards through the air. So total yardage, Hancock, that first half, 154 yards. Citrus, 98 yards. Couple of interesting stats. Third down efficiency for Citrus, 0 of 5. Hancock was 3 of 11. Not very good for Hancock, but certainly better than 0 of 5. Hancock was also 2 of 4 on fourth down. Citrus never tried it. Individually, passing, Matt Garcia, 4 of 9, 35 yards. Austin Zavala for the Owls, 6 of 13, 75 yards and 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Rushing, Smith has carried the ball 4 times for 25 yards. Young, 1 time for 1 yard. Eddie Battle, 8 times for 29 yards. And Desmond Newkirk, 11 times for 37 yards. And DJ Whitmill, 4 for 30. So you see how they're spreading the ball around. The Bulldogs are in rushing for Citrus. Alexander carried the ball 4 for 9 times. Nobody else carried it any more than 3 times, and that was Walter Carl, 3 times for 12 yards. So Hancock on the stats is ahead of the game, but on the scoreboard it's 7-7. Hancock will receive the second half kickoffs.
Khalik Davis back to receive the kick, and I want to ask you the questions that I always ask you at the beginning of a second half, and we'll get to that in a moment. Desmond Newkirk fields the kickoff, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 45. Good field position for the Bulldogs. I ask you this every single Bulldog football game. Coming out of the locker room at the half, what conversations did Coach Dutra have with his squad? All
right, defensively, I think that they've got to put a little more pressure on the quarterback, Zavala. They had that 1 sack where he fumbled the ball, and Hancock had the ball deep in the Owl territory. Secondly, the defensive backs have got to keep everybody in front of them. Do not let anybody get outside of you.
As we get the second half underway, Bulldogs with a 1st and 10 from their own 44. Garcia under center, rolling to the right, looking to pass. It looked like he was trying to get it to Khalik Davis. Oh, no, Terrence Rayner on the far side, but it's incomplete, a little bit in front of him.
Yeah, it was short. He was open, just couldn't get the ball down to him. And offensively, Hancock, they're running the ball mostly between the tackles. I expect them to, as we saw the first play, to maybe spread the ball out a little more because Citrus has got so many people right on that line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10. This one goes to Newkirk, and he tries to find a little bit of running room up the middle, and he gains about 3 yards.
I mean, you look at that particular play, the Owls, everybody, all 11 men were within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. So I would not be a bit surprised if Chris Dutra does put the ball in the air just to keep them honest.
A gain of 4 on the play. Third and 6. Garcia, a pitch to Whitmill. He finds a hole, gets a good block on the near side.
Going to be about a yard short.
A little bit short of the first down, but a nice run. A 5-yard gain for the sophomore DJ Whitmill Jr. And here comes Cade England to punt.
I think this is a good move. I mean, he should get the ball if it's not a really good run back deep in the Owl territory. He's got a lot of confidence in his defense.
Jake Urena at the 5-yard line. He fields it, but drops it at the 15 and falls right on it. And the Owls will come out their first possession of the second half. If you look at some of the numbers for the Bulldogs passing, Coming into the game, Irvin, it was only a total of 17 completions between both Garcia and Grandal. So in 3 games,
that's a little
less
over
than 6 incompletions a game.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're not going to see as much passing as we're seeing from the Owls. 1st and 10 from the 15. Zavala from the shotgun. He's looking for a pass, and he finds Justin Alexander just past the 25 for an Owl first down.
And Zavala had all kinds of time. There was just nobody in the backfield putting any pressure on him, and that makes it so much harder on the defensive backs. I mean, you can only cover a receiver for so long. The defensive backs for Hancock are really doing quite a good job.
1st and 10 from the 25, a 10-yard gain on that catch by Alexander. This time, gives it to Carl. Carl finds a big hole, dives through it, finds more room to run, and it's another Owl first down. He's tackled at the 43.
I mean, time of possession that first half. I mean, Hancock had the ball for 20 minutes, and Citrus had it for 28 minutes. That doesn't add up.
Wait a minute. That's 48 minutes. You're missing a couple. The snap bounced on the ground, but Zavala got it. And it's a quick pass. He finds Alexander for another completion and another Citrus first down.
McDonald on the coverage there went for this, the interception, could not get it, and allowed Citrus to pick up that first down. Now into Hancock territory.
1st and 10 from the Bulldog 43 for the Owls. Score tied at 7. Zavala on the play action. A deep pass looking for Flores, incomplete. The coverage was Kyron Smith.
That would have been a hard catch to catch because, I mean, he was looking right back into the sunshine.
It'll be a 2nd and 10. Soon we'll be looking into the sunshine until the clocks are changed in a few weeks.
What is it, the last weekend of October?
The 1st of November, so like the weekend of the 1st and 2nd and 3rd. That's the weekend that the Bulldogs are on the road at Santa Barbara. Carl, the ball carrier.
Only had 12 yards first half, but, I mean, he picked up about 4 yards there.
Walter Hall, the running back, and Austin Zavala teammates at Chino Hills High School.
Ran more east and west than he did north and south, though.
You don't want to waste your energy
All
doing
right,
that.
17 has gone down. It's going to be an official's timeout for the Bulldogs.
Richard Goldhammer is down on the field, and we'll take a timeout as well with 11:10 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Score tied 7-7. You're listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Richard Goldhammer walked off the field on his own for the Bulldogs. It's 7-7, the Owls and Hancock. Bulldogs have new defender on the field. Goldhammer, a kid out of Paso Robles High School. Zavala's out getting some low snaps, but he found a way to get it, but he's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage. And it looks like he should have intentional grounding.
He does.
And they called it on him back by the 36-yard line for Temple. He was chased, wow, 20 yards past the line, behind the line of scrimmage.
I know it's hard to do, but sometimes it's just better if you eat the ball and go
Yeah,
down.
just go down.
Intentional grounding on the offense from this foul. Loss of down. Fourth down.
It's a loss of a down, and it'll be a 4th and, 30 almost.
That was about a 23-yard
Loss. Yeah. 27 yards. So it's a 4th and a lot.
Yeah, forever.
And the punting team is in. Punt is up by Bailey Jr., and it bounces inside the 40 and rolls all the way to the 28. Terrence Rayner let it go.
And I have no problems with Rayner doing that. I really don't. Instead of getting up there and looking into the sun, just let the ball hit the ground.
And it was actually Ray Young. I don't know why I get Ray Young and Terrence Rayner. There's 21 and 16. I confuse them. I'm going to get that right. My gosh, it's my job. Bulldogs?
We'll just tell them next week to wear different colored
No,
socks.
They just don't want their parents to be upset. 1st and 10 from their own 30. Garcia under center. Battle in the backfield. And this one intended for Kajon Lakes. He turns around in a couple different directions. It's incomplete.
I think that ball just floated on Garcia.
There is some wind. It'll be a 2nd and 10. Kajon's talking, getting some help with his shoulder pads from his quarterback. Battle with the ball.
Might have been fortunate to pick up a yard.
Comes Maurice Smith in. Brings the play into Garcia, which is Dutra's coaching style. One of the running backs always comes in with the play for Garcia. It's a 3rd and long, a long 9. Game's tied at 7. And he's sacked.
He's
On
fumbled.
the sack, he fumbles. And it's recovered by the Owls near the far hash mark.
I agree with our executive producer, Brian. That was a busted play.
It sure was.
Citrus now deep in Hancock territory. Really for the first time, because, I mean, they were at the 45-yard line when they threw that 45-yard pass.
And that was it. 9:47 remaining here in the 3rd. It's 1st and 10 for the Owls from the Bulldog 29. And Zavala's going to pass. And it's batted down. What a play by Kingsland. He was looking for Christopher Rodriguez, but Latravius Kingsland got a hand on it. It's now 2nd and 10.
If you ask young Mr. Kingsman, he'd tell you, I should have caught that.
Freshman out of Bartlett High School in Anchorage, Alaska.
Thank you.
2nd and 10. Zavala's in the pistol. He's passing it, this time all the way downfield, looking for E.J. Gowdy, and E.J. Gowdy did a little acting, looking for a pass interference call, and there's the flag.
Hey, Brian.
I got to see it. Too bad we don't have replays. I would really like to see that replay.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 13, 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
I think the official called it on the wrong DB. I think he called it on 13, and he's not even out there. I think he meant 23. Latravius Kingsland.
Yeah, that first half, Hancock was penalized 82 yards, while Citrus was penalized 5.
1st and 10 from the 12 after the pass interference call halfway to the goal line.
Fumble.
Sal Tovar, the
But he's
ball
saying he was
carrier,
down.
and they're saying he's down, and that wasn't a fumble.
That was another busted play. Looked like quarterback, running back, either one on the wrong side of the quarterback, or.
Nine minutes remaining in the third. It's a 2nd and 12 for Citrus. Score tied at 7. Here it is. This is what they call the heavy pistol with a strong side on the right. I learned that at halftime. Pass is intended for Jeremiah Lineberger on the near sideline, nowhere near him.
Did you notice? I mean, we do 5 games a year at this particular stadium, and the wind tends to blow.
Yes.
Quarterbacks have problems throwing the ball here.
I think you're right.
If you're going north, it'll tend to sail on you. If you're going south, it'll dive on you. Quarterbacks just coming in, especially new ones coming in, really have some problems.
Play clock's down to 6. Zavala still talking to his line of scrimmage on the 3rd and 10. A high snap, but he holds on to it, and he's in trouble. And he's sacked and he fumbles. Honus Wagner sacks him. And I'm not sure that they're going to say he was down, but it looked like he fumbled on the sack. I think
that's going to bring up 4th down and about, 21, 22?
Yep. Trent Carter was nearby right after Wagner got him. But they're saying he was down, so it's not a fumble. Came out after he was sacked. And it's a 4th and 25.
I mean, there's 5 seconds left on the game clock. I mean, the time clock. They're going to have to call timeout.
They just did. Good call, Irvin. And there's a timeout on the field. We will take a timeout as well with the score tied at 7. 7:58 remaining in the third. You're listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College on the 4th and 21. The Owls are going for it. Zavala back to pass. He's throwing it deep, and it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jeremiah Lineberger. He threw it over 2 defensive backs, and he was standing right there, Lineberger. He didn't even have to jump for it.
What did I say at halftime? You don't let them get behind you.
You did say that. You're smart, Irvin.
No.
Well, okay, I was trying to compliment you.
Well, on 4th down, and you give up that.
Come on, Cal Poly's a good education. On a 4th and 21, that's a play that the Bulldogs will want to take back.
You're right.
14-7. The Owls now with the lead on a 25-yard touchdown catch by Jeremiah Lineberger on a 4th and 21.
I mean, they had to get the ball inside the 2-yard line to get a first down. So why do you let anybody get behind you? There's absolutely no reason for that whatsoever.
And Zavala saw it, and
he had to throw it that far just to even retain the ball.
Yeah, and Lineberger was in the back of the end zone. He almost stepped out after the catch.
Yeah.
14-7. The Owls now with the lead midway through the third quarter. And we'll see how the Bulldogs fight back after that.
That is a real momentum changer right there.
And a little energy shift. Sean Bailey Jr. kicking off. Back at the 14 is Qualik Davis. And he gets it at the 16, past the 20. Now he's running backwards, and he's tackled inside the 20. Wow.
I don't know if he was quicker going south or north.
Bulldogs will come back with a 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Garcia under center. A quick pass to Ray Young. And Ray Young with a completion and a Bulldog first down.
Nice run after Young caught that pass.
He's coming into the game, he only had 4 catches. The freshman. 18 yards coming into this game. 5'9", 175, E.E. Smith High School, Fayetteville, North Carolina. We've got North Carolina, Georgia, Alaska, Hawaii, Pennsylvania,
Colorado.
Las Vegas, Nevada. Well represented around the country here at Allen Hancock College. Alabama. A gain of 6 on the play. 2nd and 3 or 4. Halfway. Garcia wants to pass. Instead, he keeps it. And he gets a first down, and there's a flag on the play.
That's got to be on Citrus because they threw it at 2 defenders trying to stop Garcia. Did they grab him by the shoulder pads or hit him in the helmet?
Depending on the flag, if it's against the Bulldogs.
There wasn't any Bulldogs around the ball. No.
Wow. That was a nice play by Garcia, too. What a run.
That was a first down.
It was. Yeah, he gained about 5 on the play. It would have been a 1st and 10 from the 45. And now it's going to be a second and 13. Rolls to the right. Garcia keeps it again, runs out of bounds after catching up back to the original line of scrimmage. You're getting about 5 more. And he's pushed out of bounds, kind of slides out of bounds.
Brings up 3rd down.
36-yard
and a little more manageable. About 7 yards.
.550 ticking here on the clock in the third quarter. It's a 3rd and 7 from the Bulldog 36. Garcia, he's in trouble, and he's sacked. Sacked at the 28. He had no time at all.
No, none whatsoever. The blocking up front was dismal. They came from the 2 edges.
A loss of 9 yards on the play. It'll be a 4th and 16. And here comes Cade England. It's interesting. Do you notice that Citrus also always has 2
Yes, I did.
people receiving the punt instead of 1? Darian Warner.
And the ball is centered over his head. If it goes out of bounds, no. Don't.
And it's a safety because when Cade England grabbed it to pick it up, he slid.
And it was on his knee.
And it hit his knee. He thought about it. He tried to run it out of the end zone. He slid and hit his knee, and it's a safety. 2 points for Citrus. The snap went way over his head.
Way over his head.
Maybe it was a snap for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, he would have had problems.
So would it have been better for him to just let it roll out of bounds?
Now, that still would have been a safety, but if he could have picked it up.
Right. And gotten out of the end zone.
Or kicked it.
Right.
I mean, he was put back there to kick. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't England's fault.
No, but it was a tough play, and you got to make a quick decision.
He was scrambling. The last thing he wanted was to give up a touchdown.
Right,
I mean,
right.
It's better to give up 2 points than.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't want to have a special teams guy from Citrus run in and just dive on it in the end zone.
Exactly.
So he had a lot of quick decisions to make.
Now he will be punting from the 20-yard line.
Well, this is interesting. He's not using a.
No, he doesn't have to. He has a choice of either
Yeah.
punting or off the side of his foot. It's a fair.
Oh, and it's touched by an owl. And then it's downed at the 43, which was a smart move. So the Owls.
I don't know if he could advance it anyway because he did put his hand in the air for a fair catch.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that because the person who caught it fumbled it and another guy picked it up. So,
Yeah.
it had to stay a fair catch. 2 points for the Owls. It's now 16-7 with 4:55 remaining. Now the Bulldogs need to just get their heads together and put that behind them and move forward.
As has been the case on numerous drives today for the Bulldogs, a penalty either holding, which has been about 4 times now, has stopped that drive cold right there, and they have not been able to get out of it.
1st and 10 for the Owls from their own 44. Zavala's in the shotgun. And right away, he gives it to Carl. And Carl doesn't get far at all.
He gets about a yard, maybe 2. When we guesstimate, it's so hard for us here because we're only, about 15 feet off the ground?
Okay, and we were about 8 feet off the ground
Yes.
last week at West LA. We
I've
couldn't
been
see
there.
anything. But the good thing about West LA is it was turf. So you could see the numbers because the paint was really sharp. But here on the far side, it's the paint's not as sharp, and the sun is glaring off the field. And then it's a delay of game against the Owls.
I think they're going to get him for movement.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is a delay
okay,
game.
Okay.
You're right.
First time for everything.
You know, the only time I've been to West LA, what was the old time pizza place that they used to have here in California?
Shakey's?
Shakey's.
Straw
Yeah.
Hat?
They had one right down the street from the Culver City in Culver City, and
Yeah.
I was doing the games in with Brad Manberto, and he loved Shakey's and the Mojos or Hojos or whatever they were. It's the only time in my life I've ever been to a pizza place where I ate salad.
2nd and 15. A quick pass to Lineberger. And he gets nothing. Absolutely nothing. He might have even lost a yard.
And the reason being, for folks that are listening to the game, I've been in pizza for the last 24 years.
He's a pizza shop owner. So I grew up down there in West LA, and it was my stomping ground. We, of course, whenever we go down there, I always like to tell everyone about this place and that place. And as we're leaving, when I was very young, in my 20s, early 20s, I worked in TV, and we drove right by Sony. And when I worked in TV, I worked at Sony right there on Overland and Washington. We drove right by it so long ago. A gain of 2, 3rd and 13. Zavala pushes Carl back a little bit further behind him, and he's going to pass. He's got time, and there's a little bit of did you see there was a little contact between Rodriguez and the DB? Did
And
you
the
see
worst
that?
part is that he couldn't knock the ball down.
It's complete. Should he have been called an offensive pass interference on that?
They both had their hands on one another.
So they've just let it go. And I think Seth Dameron is arguing that right now with one of the line judges. Wow. First and 10 now from the Bulldog 22. Zavala's in the pistol. Gives it to Carl. And Carl runs into some traffic. Carl's dropped for a gain of maybe 2. Second and 8 from the Bulldog 20 for the Owls, who now have a 16-7 lead with 2:06 in the third quarter.
I mean, it's third and long, and you're down there fighting for the pass. Instead of trying to intercept it, at least knock the ball down and don't let the opponent catch the ball.
Second and 8, he's under center. You don't see this often with Zavala. He drops back, looking into the end zone, and he finds him. Flores into the end zone for a touchdown. Didn't he put his hand right in the chest of the defensive back?
He did, but, I mean, the referee's right there.
Touchdown Owls. 22-7 now. With a little bit under 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. There is time for Hancock, but they've got to keep their heads. Kick is up, and it's good. 23-7 is your score. Citrus with the lead, 1 minute, 44 seconds remaining in the third quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Citrus has scored 2 times in the third quarter, 3 times, 2 in a row. First with a safety and a touchdown. Kickoff bounces out of bounds on the far sideline. Now Citrus leads it 23-7, scoring 16 unanswered points here in the third quarter. 2 touchdowns and a safety on a high snap over the head of the punter, Zacharias.
And then it was, as we know, two passes that were, the receivers got behind the defenders. And
was there a penalty? I just missed.
Yeah, the ball went out of bounds. So they moved the ball up to the 35-yard line.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs. Hear a lot of vocals coming from the Bulldogs sideline. Eddie Battle finds a nice hole through the middle and gains about 7.
I mean, you're 16 points down. That's virtually 2 possessions.
Second and 3 for the Bulldogs.
You were right when you said that the Bulldogs needed to hold their composure.
And it's a sack, but the fumble. It's a live ball, and it's recovered by Citrus. As he's going down on the sack, he released the ball, fumbled it, and now the Owls will come back and bring their offense back on the field.
Just a calamity of errors right now, eh?
Owls bringing their offense back on the field. A first and 10 from the Hancock 36-yard line. Matt Garcia is fired up right now on the sideline. Just to walk away for a minute and just take a few deep breaths. He's talking to Dylan Simons, a quarterback who got hurt. There's some physicality going on the far sideline. Incomplete pass. It was intended for Gowdy.
Colic Davis was on the coverage there, and he did what you'd have to do. If he couldn't intercept it, you'd knock the ball down. Don't let an owl catch the ball.
2nd and 10.
But you don't blame the Owls. They come out, get a fumble recovery deep in Hancock territory. You go for the juggler, don't you?
Zavala under center. Backs her in the eye. 2nd and 10.
Draw.
Right away. It's a draw play to Tovar. And there's a flag back by the 37-yard line.
Moves it up to the 35. Holding.
Holding against Citrus, and that'll take it back. Under a minute to play here in the third, 23-7, Owls with the lead and the ball. Takes it all the way back to the 45. It's 2nd and 20. Play clock is under 10. Zavala's under center. 3 wide receivers. And he's going to pass. A quick pass to the far sideline intended for Gowdy, incomplete.
Yeah, Zavala threw that ball behind the Gowdy, and Gowdy had to try to turn around. By then the ball was past him.
Second down and 20. The intended receiver, E.J. Gowdy, is from Buena Park. Every time I think of Buena Park, I think of Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why. And it's the
third
haunted.
down, though, isn't it?
It's 3rd and 20. Thank you. He's in trouble, but he does get a pass off.
And another penalty.
Isaiah Gray with the reception. And there's a flag. Honus Wagner, the tackle, but an ineligible receiver downfield. So it'll be a 3rd now and 25.
Well, in Hancock's favor, the ball moves backwards and it stops the clock.
The clock's still running. And it looks like they're going to let it run down, and we're going to end the third quarter with the Owls of Citrus leading 23-7. One more quarter of play coming up. You're listening to Bulldog Football and Athletics. JohnHancockCollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College with 3 quarters of play in the books. It's 23-7. The Citrus Owls leading the Bulldogs. Hancock looking for its 3rd win of the season, heading into Pacific League action in just a couple weeks. And the Citrus Owls are undefeated at 4-0 with their last non-league game today. And they will start Mountain League play next week. 16 unanswered points for the Owls in the third quarter. And now, on a 4th and long.
I mean, they were on the 50-yard line. They had to go to about the 24 for a first down.
Ray Young back to receive. And Sean Bailey Jr. ready to punt from the 40-yard line. The punt is up. It's high. And Young gets it at the 15, gets to the 20. And he's still up, but tackled by 4 different Citrus players. And the Bulldogs will take over. Let's see how the Bulldogs handle their offensive play calling. Down by 16 points. Matt Garcia, who did a pretty good job of passing last week against West LA. Let's see how much he'll be using his arm in this one. Not on the first play. DJ Whitmill Jr. finds a hole. Not enough for a first down, but a great run by the sophomore.
I mean, you're down only 16 points. You got a full quarter to go. The panic button shouldn't be set yet.
Okay.
You don't agree?
I know. I had to think about it for a second. You definitely don't want your defense to have to work too hard.
Oh, the defense has been out there a lot.
Right. They need a break. Pass was intended for Ray Young, and it's a 3rd and 2. Whitmill Jr. straight
should have the
in
first
between
down.
the tackles, and it's close. And we'll see. And they're calling it a Bulldog first down. DJ Whitmill Jr. seems to be the biggest and toughest running back on this squad to get down on short yardage situations.
Eddie Battle's not bad either.
Yeah. A little taller.
Yeah,
has a little more speed.
Both of them, they're veterans.
And they're the sophomores, exactly. Where Newkirk and Smith are the freshmen doing a great job as well.
No, they are.
Yeah. Garcia's in trouble. He decides to keep it. He does one of his own 2 spin moves, and he gets tackled. He's not afraid to get hit, that's for sure. He gained a couple yards, and there's the yellow flag. Holding against the defense. Holding on Joe Castillo, the defensive back, the sophomore for the Owls from Northview High School in Rancho Cucamonga, where the Quakes, Dodgers.
The single A?
Yeah. Years ago when I was training to be an announcer, I went down there for sportscasters camp and did a Quakes game. A long time ago. Got lost. Super fun. Sportscaster Camps of America in my youth at Loyola Marymount University. They took us to sporting events. I just like to say Rancho Cucamonga. 1st and 10.
Fumble.
And Whitmill fumbles it. It's still moving. And guess what? It's the Owls. The Owls recover it. Kalen Muhammad. DJ Whitmill Jr. does not fumble a lot.
No, I think you're right. I don't think he ever had it.
So it happened on the handoff. So what would you call it? Who would get the fumble? It's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah, probably Whitmill would, but I'm not saying that the exchange was all that crisp.
Got it. Yep. Citrus takes over. 1st and 10 from the 45 in Bulldog territory. Zavala is in the shotgun. Gives it to Carl. Carl finds a hole and gets hit hard right around the first down marker. Honus Wagner. 2 of them almost seem to have a head-to-head contact. But not on purpose. He was running. I don't think Wagner saw him. A 9-yard gain on the play for Walter Carl. Play clock's under 10. Incomplete pass. And he was looking for Christopher Rodriguez, but he wasn't much near him.
And at the same token, Jeremiah Flores was going across the middle. There was absolutely nobody close to it. Wide open. So you took a class at Loyola Marymount?
No, I went to a camp. It was a week-long sportscasters camp that was held at Loyola Marymount for sportscasters.
And were you in high school, or?
I was a junior at Syracuse, and there were so many big names there. So many big names that came and spoke to us. It was such a great experience. It was those are some of the best weeks of my life. Sportscaster Camps of America. I went twice, and I was a counselor twice. And it was around for 25 years. It was organized by a guy named Roy Engelbrecht, who was a boxing promoter, and his best friend, Bob Miller, the voice of the LA Kings.
Okay, yeah.
And they started this venture probably, 35 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. Then about 5 years ago, they stopped doing it. But a lot of guys that went to Sportscasters Camp, and a couple of us women, are working in the business. It's a 4th and short. Zavala holds it, keeps it, and he got the first down.
I think he fell forward for the first down.
He got some help from his offensive lineman.
Now, the only time I went to Loyola Marymount, I actually called a CIF championship game.
Oh, wow.
In basketball.
When I was there, the NBA Summer Leagues took place at LMU.
Okay, yeah.
And I got to interview K.C. Jones, legendary Boston Celtics head coach. It was so great.
Came out of USF, didn't he?
Gosh, it was so great. I think so.
The year after Bill Russell.
Wow, look at you with the old man trivia.
Well, if there's a team that I really follow in the NBA, it's the Celtics. All right, Brian.
1st and 10.
My two favorite teams are the Celtics and who's ever playing the Lakers.
No, whatever. Carl carrying the ball. He's had the ball a lot.
Yes, he has.
He's the main weapon.
Doesn't get many yards, but
No.
I mean, he handles the running game for the most part for the Citrus Owls.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Zavala's in the heavy pistol. Heavy right side pistol. See that? I learned a new phrase today. And now he's getting him to move. The heavy's moved to the left in gray. Look at that. Look at that play-by-play. Zavala keeps it. Finds one hole. Oh, no, he actually throws it. Before he passed the line of scrimmage, he got a pass off to E.J. Gowdy. Wow.
And the penalty is down.
And there's a marker. But I thought he'd already crossed the line of scrimmage.
If it wasn't him, maybe there was a lineman that was downfield, or.
Offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Offensive holding by the Owls. .10:49 remaining in the game. 23-7 is the score. The 4-0 Owls are in the lead. Second and 20. This time Carl, the ball carrier again, gets back to the original line of scrimmage and a little bit more.
That exchange between Zavala and Carl was not very good, but I mean, Carl did hold on to the ball, as you said, picked up about 8 or 9 yards.
About almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
3rd and 11.
We should do one game where you do the play-by-play and I do the color.
Then people
fun.
on the other end would know what's going on.
Oh, gosh. That's right in the gut. Oh, gosh, I can't even talk. Oh, my stomach. 3rd and long. Oh, 3rd and long. I can't even. I think the wind knocked out. The guy has the wind knocked out. Sub. Sub. Steven. Charles, I need a sub. funniest things you've ever said. You said it right in the middle of a play, so I couldn't even talk. Oh, at least we have fun here on Bulldog Broadcasts. 4th and 10, the punting team is in. Is that Ray Young? I think Ray Young is back. Bailey Jr., the punt. He's going to let it bounce into the end zone and past the end zone.
Yep.
And it was Kurt McDonald for the first time on the punt. He's had one punt return for 17 yards. He was in this time rather than Ray Young. If you look at the statistics on the kicking game for the returners, there's only been two, coming into the game, only 2 punt returns in 3 games.
There's 2 punt returners or 2 punt returns?
2 punt returns with credit, meaning it didn't bounce, it wasn't dropped, whatever it was.
Yeah. For positive yardage.
Yes. Thank you. See? That's why we're a team. Ray Young, the intended receiver. And it's incomplete. Just under 9 minutes remaining. Now is the panic button ready? Is it time?
Yeah, now. Hey, you know, if you guys are going to keep taking the Mickey out of me, I don't have to come.
Listen, you are the humor. You are the color commentator. You add the color to the broadcast. Whitmill Jr. carries the ball. He high steps over the 30-yard line and might have had enough for a first down. That was funny. You are. Color commentator is the one who brings the color, the life, the chutzpah, the harumph into the broadcast.
So if it wasn't for me, the broadcast would be.
Exactly. Ask Steven. Last week's like, what's going on here? It's just me and. Third and short. Garcia looking to pass. He finds Affe. And Affe complete, and it's a Bulldog first down. Jerome Affe, it's only his second catch of the season. Did he catch one earlier today?
No, he dropped one.
Okay, so it's his second catch of the year.
Yeah.
The sophomore out of Bartlett High School, Anchorage, Alaska.
A good-sized tight end, too.
He sure is. 6'4", 260. First and 10 for the Bulldogs. Down by 16 midway through the 4th. Whitmill Jr. He's on his feet past the 40. Wow, he fought for that one.
Yes, he did.
Almost a first. And they're giving him a first down. Here go the sticks. DJ Whitmill Jr. They're changing their. Oh, no, they are. They're going back and forth. Remember, they're volunteers. Let's just remember the guys.
They're not volunteers. They get paid for this.
Okay, well,
They probably get mileage, too.
Oh, my goodness. They're athletes from another team.
No, I thought you were talking about the referees.
Oh, gosh, no. I'm talking about the guys holding the sticks. Yeah, I know the volunteers aren't athletes. The Bulldogs are going to take a timeout, and we're going to take one, too, because we have lost it. With 7:31 remaining in the game, it's 23-7 Citrus. You're listening to Bulldog Football and Athletics. John Hancock College.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College in Santa Maria, California. Irvin Kiger, CJ Silas, 7:31 remaining in the game. The Owls up 23-7. And Desmond Newkirk finds a hole down the near sideline, crosses midfield, and it's another Bulldog first down.
Nice run by
Newkirk.
Newkirk, he just bounced right outside. There was nothing off tackle. Bounced outside, came around the edge, and had open grass in front of him.
First and 10 from the 37. Whitmill Jr.'s in the backfield. He gets it, and he is taken down hard by two Owls.
Not a parliament,
Wow.
but just two.
Yeah. Kalen Muhammad and Jason Villa.
Picked up no yardage whatsoever. Got back to the original line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10. It's a pitch to Newkirk. And he has nowhere to go. Darian Warner. The little help from Chima Mubaruguru. Baruguru. I think I got it right.
Johnny Avilas, the fullback, threw a really nice block. Chris Dutra is one of the only coaches that has a fullback in almost 100% of the time, and they are always such good blockers.
2nd and 10 for Hancock, down 23-7 with 6 minutes remaining in the game. Garcia passes batted away and then intercepted by
Let
a
him
lineman.
go. Let him go. Let him go. Oh.
He was going.
He was running the wrong way.
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
you don't tackle him.
I can't laugh.
You let him go.
I can't talk. I can't talk. Who was that? I can't talk. Oh, I can't talk. I can't breathe. 66.99. I can't talk. Anthony Chisholm. I can't talk.
Don't tackle him. Just escort him into the end zone.
Anthony Chisholm. He would have gone all the way if they let him go.
Wasn't it Jim Marshall of the 49ers that did that?
Anthony Chisholm.
Back in the 50s or 60s?
Oh, gosh. That guy is going to hear about that play for the rest of his life.
You're right.
Anthony Chisholm. He will never. Oh, my goodness. Citrus takes a timeout. I need oxygen. We're going to take a timeout. With 5:45 remaining in the game, is 23-7 Citrus over the Bulldogs. You're listening to Bulldog Football and Athletics on HancockCollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College, where...
As Kevin Roos said last night on Friday Football Focus, that young man was the best thing to happen to grass since fertilizer.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin. 1st and 10 for the Owls. Alexander, the ball carrier. Major League Baseball, American League Division Series. Yankees lead the Twins 8-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. And both National League series are off today.
They
Houston
just really have the Twins' number.
Yeah, and Houston and Tampa Bay come up a little later. I'm still... He just looked up and he saw field posts and he was running no matter where whatever end zone it was. Okay, let's get back to this. With just under 5 minutes remaining, Citrus leads it 23-7. They have a ball and they're continuing to go in that direction. They're following suit. It's now 3rd and 13.
I guess it would be easy to get confused.
Are we still going to talk about this? Because I feel bad. I think we need to stop because it's hilarious, but it's still not.
Hey, trust me, Citrus got a good laugh out of it, just like we did.
They're going to laugh about it all the way back to L.A. Yeah, we're back near Azusa.
So it's close to Whittier.
No, not really. More
Isn't
Azusa
Azusa?
Pacific, Arcadia, past Pasadena, out that way.
Okay.
Oh gosh, maybe Whittier. I don't think so, but I guess I haven't gone that far very often in my life. I try to stop at the Rose Bowl and not turn back, and then turn back. Though I have been to the Arboretum out that way, and I went hiking once out above Azusa Pacific. Oh gosh.
Claremont, that university.
Yes, Pitzer and Claremont, the colleges. Yes.
Yeah.
4th and 11. A high snap. And it's Young. Fields it at the 39. He gets past midfield, asking for blocks. Cuts inside. He found another hole. And he's tackled.
But it's all coming
right
back.
Around the 23-yard line, but there is a flag on the play.
Oh, there's 2 flags.
Oh, there's another flag. There's one downfield, and there's one in the middle of the field. It's not raining men, it's raining flags.
And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they're both against Hancock.
And he made a nice run.
Oh, he made a very nice run.
And did you see him ask for a block?
Yeah.
I love when they do that. What? Get that guy, get that guy.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker on the defense.
Roughing the kicker and holding. And roughing the kicker and holding on the offense.
So why would holding be 25 yards downfield?
Penalties are offsetting. So the Bulldogs
against West LA.
And they're going to punt again. Bailey Jr. punting to Ray Young. Now the officials want to have a chat. Clock is stopped at 3:25. Bulldogs have 2 timeouts remaining in this half. The Owls have 1. Citrus with a 23-7 lead. It's been a dirty ball game, and I don't mean dirty, nasty. I mean messy.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of turnovers, both sides.
Turnovers, mistakes.
Holding on the defense. Not penalties decline. Personal foul. Roughing the kicker on the defense.
Oh, okay, so both the penalties were against Hancock.
Yeah.
They made a mistake because they called one of the holding penalties against Citrus, and it wasn't.
Right.
Look, even the officials are confused. You know it's bad. So now the offense is back on the field. Citrus has a 1st and 10 from their own 42. Wow. I could probably watch the last 8 minutes 20 times and not really know what happened. Ball carrier for the Owls, Sal Tovar.
Seth Matisse, nice tackle downfield for him. That young man, he'll be playing on Saturday somewhere next year, I guarantee you. At a 4-year school.
We all have been arguing about how to say his name, and we think it's Mataisi.
Mataisi?
Yep.
Has anybody asked the young man?
Yeah, I think that's how we found out. We finally figured it out. And we're all proud of ourselves that it only took us a season and a half to get it right. But it was probably a little bit short.
Well, you say to get it right, but you're still uncertain if that's
well,
really
that's what we're being told by someone that is either him or related to him. He is from Paso. I guess we could just call Paso High and ask them. That would be extra work for us, though. No, it's Mataisi. And I think I called him Mathisi the entire season last year, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I don't mean to disrespect the family.
Of
now
course
I know
not.
it's right.
Because
I'm kind of it's very important to me to get pronunciations right. 3rd and 4. 2:07 remaining in the 4th. Zavala under center this time. And he gives it to Carl again. Bulldogs will take a timeout with 1 minute 50 seconds remaining in the game. We'll take a timeout as well. The Owls are leading the Bulldogs 23-7. You're listening to Hancock football at Bulldogs at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College with 1:50 remaining in the 4th quarter. The visiting Owls of Citrus leading 23-7. And they have a 4th and short. The punting team is in. And the punt is up, and Kurt McDonald back and fields it at the 12. Calls for a fair catch. And Hancock will take over with 1 timeout remaining and a 16-point lead, trailing by 16.
They're at the 12. That scoreboard's not really kind to the press box, is it?
It's tough to see. I have to lean over to see. That's okay. We have a score on the screen of our webcast, which is helpful. Thanks to Brian Dill. Eddie Battle, the ball carrier. He has a nice run for about 6. I keep wanting to say Temple, but it's Citrus, the Temple Owls. I haven't done it, but I've had that. It's gone. It's been in my mind a few times. Citrus will move its record to 5-0. Heading into Mountain League play. Next up, they will play at Desert in 2 weeks. They'll use their bye next weekend. And the Bulldogs will be 2-2. And they're playing at Antelope Valley.
You know, funny you should say Temple, because a couple of athletic directors ago, Scott Cathcart,
yes,
he came from Temple.
Oh, wow.
He was an associate athletic director there.
Yeah, and didn't one of his kids play for Hancock for a couple of years?
Yeah, one went to Louisiana Tech, I believe. A couple of his kids played.
Under a minute remaining.
Scott is now the athletic director at Palomar.
Battle carries the ball. Clock stops on the Bulldog first down. First and 10 from the 29. This could be the last play. Garcia back to pass. Shooting deep for Ray Young, who trips. And there's a flag on that. With under 10 seconds remaining in the game. There was contact, but it was feet. They didn't touch each other, but he tripped over one of the feet of the other 2 defensive backs that were covering him, racing down the field.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Pass interference, number 22, penalty decline. Roughing the passer, number 43, 15 yards.
And we didn't see that because we were watching the play.
Yeah, I did not see the second flag, I'll be honest.
I didn't either. One more play here probably for the Bulldogs as they move the ball all the way to the Bulldogs 44. And it's a 1st and 10 for Hancock. Eddie Battle pushing hard, working hard. And the clock will tick down to 0, and the Citrus Owls will get their 5th win of the season. Citrus will head into Mountain League play in 2 weeks, undefeated. The Bulldogs will take a 2-2 record up against Antelope Valley College next week. Citrus wins it 23-7. We will take a timeout and come back with our statistics for the game. For Irvin Kiger, I'm CJ Silas. It's 23-7 is the final. The Citrus Owls win it. Stick around for game stats. You're listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Citrus wins it 23-7, and we will be back on the air next week for the game at Antelope Valley. Before we head out and say goodbye, the Antelope Valley game is a 6 o'clock kickoff with pregame show right before 6. Irvin, can you share with us the game statistics?
Yeah, first of all, let's go with Citrus, the winning team. They had 65 yards on the ground, 186 yards through the air for a total of 251 yards. Hancock had 177 on the ground, 53 through the air, 230 yards. Time of possession, again, I won't even give it to you because it's saying it's 47 minutes for Hancock. For Citrus, and I don't know how they work that.
Time of possession is a mistake. We'll get it next week.
Third down efficiency, 1 of 14 for Citrus, 6 of 18 for Hancock. Fourth down, 3 of 5 for Hancock, 2 of 2 for Citrus. And it was just the turnovers in the second half that really did Hancock in. They were penalized 124 yards, 83 yards for Citrus. The fumbles lost. Hancock lost 3. Citrus lost 2. Each team had an interception, so the turnovers were the big thing. First for Hancock, Matt Garcia, 6 of 16, 53 yards through the air, 1 interception. Maurice Smith carried the ball 5 times for 24 yards. Rashawn Young, 1 time for 1 yard. Eddie Battles carried the ball 13 times for 59 yards. Newkirk 14 times for 60 yards, and DJ Whitmill 12 times for 68 yards. So they really handed the ball off to a lot of running backs, which is really good for Hancock, but unfortunately it was the turnovers that came back to kill them. They gave the ball away deep in their own territory, CJ.
Well, we appreciate you being here, Irvin. Bulldogs now 2-2 on the season. Citrus is now 5-0. Bulldogs head to Antelope Valley next weekend for a 6 o'clock game, their last non-league game of the season. And then they will start league play at home against Pasadena and Santa Monica, and then head on the road to Santa Barbara at home against Pierce, and end the season against LA Harbor on the road. For Irvin Kiger, our technical director, Brian Dill, our statisticians and helpers, Brandon Robertson, Clayton, Stephen.
There's a lot of people that contribute.
Jacob, there you go. That's the crew, and we appreciate you being here. We'll be back next week right before 6 o'clock. You've been listening to Bulldog Football, where the Bulldogs lose it 23-7. You can find the webcast at athletics.hancockcollege.edu.